So we're going to cut up a sweet onion small, a red pepper, a green pepper. Here we have some spring onions, and we'll cut up a couple of those, and 2 portobello mushrooms. We can do this really simple. All right, now we are going to use some of our broccoli. I'm going to use this stem. The reason why is because it is very good for you. And don't be afraid of the little leaves. It's Chinese bok choy, and it is in the cruciferous family, and it's full of vitamin C and calcium. But if on dialysis, you have to limit your intake because it is high in potassium. All right, we're going to put this on not high, but about the next setting down to high, because in stir frying, it's going to take a relatively high heat, but you don't want to scorch your vegetables. Okay, a little canola. And a small amount of sesame oil, pretty much for that wonderful Asian flavor. And just coat the pan. It's on a relatively high heat, but not extremely high. So let's start with the vegetables. Sweet onion, broccoli, portobello mushrooms, bok choy, red peppers, green peppers, and let's start frying them. Is add a little bit of flavor using our liquid aminos. Now, the reason why I'm using liquid aminos is a soy sauce alternative. This is by Bragg's, and it's very important to note that we're using this soy sauce alternative because the sodium level is much lower than even sodium light soy sauce. So this is the best thing on the market if you want that soy sauce flavor, but you can't afford to have the sodium. And even so, you have to be careful, be mindful of how much you use. So we're just going to do a little bit there. And some coconut aminos, which also gives you a little bit of the soy flavor without all that sodium. So you see it's cooking rather fast. We're just going to turn it down a little bit. Flip it over. Just going to let them cook down a little bit more. If you would like to learn how to tenderize your steak or your chicken, the way that it is tender when you go to an Asian restaurant, this is what we're about to show you. First, you're going to use egg white, and you're going to mix it with a cornstarch or potato starch mix. So, we're going to show you that in just a moment. Okay, now let me go ahead and crack this egg and get just the white in. Okay, this is the egg white. And next, we're going to have a small amount of cornstarch. This is just a tablespoon. You mix it up in a little water. Doesn't need to be more than 1/3 of a cup of water, depending on how much meat. And we have a very small piece of steak that we're trying to tenderize. Mix it together. And this is a great tenderizing agent. Now, if you would like to add flavor in addition to tenderizing, let me show you what to do next. Things that we can do to add flavor to what is about to become our very tenderized steak. I put a little garlic powder in there. Okay, so we're next going to add some liquid aminos. That will give us a little of the flavor for salt, no more than a tablespoon. And last but not least, a dash of ginger powder. All right. Now these ingredients mixed together will provide a wonderful opportunity for our steak or chicken to be tenderized and seasoned at the same time. And I like to do it overnight in a plastic bag. You can do it for several hours. It will have nearly the equivalent effect. All right, here we have a nice piece of sirloin steak and a nice piece of chicken breast, a chicken breast tenderloin. So what we're going to do is cut these two nice pieces of meat in biteable pieces. We'll cut away from the fat and discard a really fatty piece of steak. I'll get as close as possible and work around that. Okay, so now we have a little steak, a little chicken, and there's no problem in just mixing these meats together and allowing them to be marinated at the same time. There they are. Just want to make sure they're well coated, and you can cover that up and put it in the refrigerator, or if you want to make sure that it's safe, you can seal it in a plastic bag and refrigerate it. I would refrigerate it for several hours, maybe 3 to 4 hours, or overnight for the best effect. Okay, so we have now taken our steak and chicken out of the refrigerator, and we have drained the marinade off of it, and now it's ready to fry. In the pan, we have some canola oil, and we're going to add to it a little bit of sesame oil for flavor. And now we're ready to fry up our meats. And because they're cut in small pieces, this chicken and steak will cook rather quickly. Okay, last, before the meat is joined with the vegetables, we're going to add a little bit of sweet and sour sauce, and this is made by LaChoy. Just stir it around, and then we're going to be ready to join it with the vegetables to complete the meal. Today we cut up our own vegetables and meats. However, if you don't have time, you could always go to your local Kroger's and buy a stir-fry kit, and the vegetables are already pre-cut for you. I would caution you though, you can use the vegetables, but I would not use, for those that don't need to have sodium, and if you're on dialysis, you don't need to have excessive sodium. So the seasoning is not what you want to use. You just want to use the cut vegetables. And here is one kit. This says it's a mandarin orange. You can always add your own orange seasoning with the other seasonings like the Bragg's liquid aminos. And here's another stir-fry kit with teriyaki sauce. Teriyaki sauce, unfortunately, is very high in sodium, so again, you just want to use the vegetables. And here's another one, ginger garlic. Ginger garlic kit is likely still going to have too much sodium because it's not only ginger and garlic, but the vegetables are safe for you to eat, and you'll have to use your own seasonings, the ones that we just shared with you, the Bragg's liquid aminos, and ginger powder or fresh ginger, and garlic powder or fresh garlic. Be safe and enjoy your foods.